And there you see it, guys. There's the fan that keeps me alive during the day. Wow, that fan is so important. So hopefully that's not too loud in the live streams, but I think it's all right. What a fun little day today, guys. I really had a good time trading, probably because, we have a really nice big green day, but also because we had really nice resolution. So NTN and FAT, guys, these were some fat daddy tickers. I mean, with huge volume today, it was just good fun. What I liked about both of them the most is because their floats under 5 million. Both had interesting catalysts, a little red flag catalyst, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. But just both had big spikeability potential. Now, huge red flags on NTN pulling back 50% pre-market, and massive red flag as well on FAT pulling back 36% or roughly, I think even 40% pre-market. So that may be a little bit iffy. And that's maybe also why after the market opened, I was a little bit cautious. So today in the recap video, I want to, besides analyzing the trades and if there are possible swings, I want to talk about a little bit on, why did I slow down trading so much after the market opened? Most of my profits and most of my trades came from pre-market, which is a little bit unusual. It's not very orthodox for me. So what was the primary catalyst for that? Was I overly kind of biased towards maybe NTN and FAT kind of pulling off? Was I kind of nervous about how they would trade? Or was it just me wanting to lock in profits and not wanting to make a silly mistake? I'm not really sure, but in hindsight, getting aggressive and maintaining my aggression throughout the trading day would have been the right idea. I'm pretty sure we could have doubled or tripled our profits fairly easily. So I don't know, I was playing it maybe a little bit too safe today, but after yesterday and just, being let down left and right with all of our lead gappers, maybe that was also a bit of an influence. So I'll kind of expand into that a little bit more, because I think it's really important to identify certain habits, behaviors, and patterns and see if there's maybe a larger underlying issue that maybe we can fix a little bit. So I think it's gonna be a fun little topic to talk about in this video. Before we get into that, guys, don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content, and if you're totally new here, don't forget to subscribe. Join the community. It is mad good fun. The live streams are absolutely wicked, and they start every day around 9:15 a.m. where we first review the watch list and then we trade the market open. And if you're an early beaver, check out around 8 to 8:15. We already published a live stream, and then we already talk about the pre-market setups there if you guys are interested. All right, guys, talk to the charts. What's up, peeps? So what a trading day today. Oh, I just realized my face is back in it. Really sweet trading day today, guys. We had some really phenomenal lead gappers, although I gotta say, I was very weary about both of them, specifically FAT, but NTN I was also weary about because it pulled back 50% from pre-market highs. Danger zone. So I knew these ones were really something to watch, and both of them had floats under 5 billion. So that's, again, big zones. And I'm finally drinking a coffee. If you guys ever put coffee with chocolate milk, it's absolutely delicious. I can't even explain it. It's an explosion of flavor. So today we only traded 2 tickers. Actually, how many trades did I do today? So we did 14 trades today. A little bit, actually the most we've traded actually this week. So kind of a fun, aggressive trading day. Although I gotta say, and I kind of want to make this a little bit of a topic here, is like, why did I stop trading? Why did I not get more aggressive? I did most of my trading, almost all my trading and all my profits happened pre-market. So let's go ahead and review them. But $680 up on the day, can't really complain. That's pretty sweet. Also, still not trading with that big position size. Still usually under 3,000 a trade. Let's start with NTN, because this is actually the one I'm watching anyway right now. Not really to trade, but just, in general, because, well, why not? This is the one we stopped the stream basically on. So NTN, 3 million float, US broadcasting company. That's not the most usual ticker or industry for us to trade. Merger agreement, and actually it was kind of funny because FAT had a planned acquisition, and NTN was a merger agreement. So it's kind of interesting catalyst. And I was talking about this on the stream. It's not my favorite catalyst because it's tough to evaluate, and most mergers and acquisitions actually end up being unbeneficial for both parties involved in the long run. So it's very hard to make a merger and acquisition have positive synergy. I mean, we see great deals all the time that get publicized, like Facebook acquiring Instagram or something like that. I mean, call it a great deal, call it whatever you want. I don't know, but it worked out, quote unquote. But then there's all the ones that people don't talk about that don't work out. So again, mergers and acquisitions, a little bit nervous here on this news. And then pre-market, NTN, just absolute disaster. Pulled back so much. And let's just go here to the 5 minutes so we can kind of put this little puppy in a nutshell a little bit clearer here. So yeah, pre-market, just absolutely aggressive pullback from the highs, 50%. Just really strong. So I was kind of nervous about this one. And then on the daily chart, we've had several spikes on NTN, but none of them really held their highs well. So I was also a little bit nervous about that. We also had a recent runner here. So I was a little bit nervous because I thought there was going to be a lot of back holders on NTN, and I knew that $5 was going to be absolutely huge resistance. What I did like about it was that a huge amount of volume we saw today, 3 million float, beautiful, has a catalyst, even though it's debatable. So, it has a lot of between $2 and $7. It has a lot of stuff going for it, and it was up pre-market 200%. So again, beautiful stuff, but also several red flags, and I just wanted to be a little bit cautious on NTN. Anyway, let's see what happened here. So big resistance around 5.5, never ended up breaking higher here, and then we had a nice big flush to the downside. I actually was very quick on these trades. I think my first trade here was like, actually it was a loss. And then my second trade, I bought the break of 4 when I thought the selling volume was a little bit light, which it was, and it bounced up here about to $4. And this was a pretty okay move. I sold on 4.11, almost a perfect exit, and which doesn't happen all the time. And literally, right as I sell, it flushes down here like 10-11%, and I'm like, man, the NTN, man, you got to be quick on it. But basically, I was up already $160 on that first move. This was probably one of my biggest position sizes, 8, 16, 24, 32, 3,200. I did another dip here near the perfect low. Actually, not a perfect low, but like right before the reversal is really what I meant to say. Sold on the EMA retest. The 9 EMA retest, took a little bit of a base hit here. Could have held this one longer, but you never know. If you're trading dips, you don't know if it's going to be a quick bounce. Or like a nice, like a continuation after the bounce, or if it's going to be a quick bounce and a huge flush. And I've been in so many flushes that default mode Alex just is like take profits. So yeah, that was pre-market NTN. And then out of the gates, I was saying I would love to buy this around 270. 275, we dip down to 282 and then have a huge run. I'm totally fine with missing that red to green move. That doesn't bother me. What bothered me is that I missed this pullback. This 9-minute EMA pullback was just about perfect, and it was a 28% move after that. And I could have even bought this dip. This was a 13% move. So 2 trades right here that would have been perfect. And I gotta say, I do kind of regret, have a little bit of FOMO from that. Have a little bit dip down here. This was a small profit, about pretty much a loss almost, or just a scratch. I don't know, was this a profit? I don't even remember. Pretty much a scratch. Had another dip down here. This was a really nice reversal. This one kind of sucked too, because right around here at like 10:08, I was like, okay, NTN is actually holding this area much better than I thought it would. Volume is disappearing. This might actually break or VWAP, and it's going to test VWAP. Literally, as I was talking about that, it does it, and I'm like, oh God, man, like, why am I not trading this? It gets halted, has a pullback to 380 something, 385 or so, and then rips again. So, why did I not trade? Why was I not trading? Again, we had a nice little dip here. This was an okay little trade. I like this because we had big support at $4, and I front run a little bit, and then I sold into the bounce. Nothing really too crazy here, having a little bounce. What I love about NTN right now is just all day today, is just how strong it moved. Like, yesterday with BOXL, you would have a move that looked, let's say, similar to, I don't know, this whole entire thing, and it would be like 5%. BOXL was such a slow mover. And it was the lead gapper, so, well, besides IGC. But, NTN, 50% move. I mean, these are just really strong moves. And that's kind of why we made a decent amount of profit with this one today. Because, again, look, this trade right here, 6, 12, 18, 24, this is a $2,400 position size. Again, not really too crazy. So I don't know. I'm going to think about, why was I not getting more aggressive? I mean, technically, I only did 3 trades here pre-market, and I did 2 after the market opened. But I should have done 1, 2, 3 in this area, 4, maybe do 2 dips here, 5, 6, bunch of dips down here on the way down, 7, 8, 9. I should have been doing. So I should have done I don't know, probably 10 trades plus, but I only did 2. So why was I so late? And it's probably because after doing the $25,000 challenge, there was so many weeks where, we were just kind of scratching around a little bit, and it was very stressful. So now I have a $500 day after switching to the unlimited account, and I'm just like, oh man, we made $500. Let's lock in those profits and walk away. So I think it's a little bit of just my psychology in terms of not being totally used to having the unlimited account yet. So I really think that might be where it's coming from. And I'm like, if I'm up, I like to lock in profits. And I've also been up and gave back a bunch of profits. So it's probably a little bit of risk aversion from that as well. And I think I'm going to get better at it. I think I'm going to get much better at knowing when to walk away and knowing to get a little bit more aggressive when the stock is performing. But for now, I mean, it's true. I traded way too lightly today. Just got to make sure my microphone's on. Last time I did a recap and it wasn't. I was like, oh. So yeah, I mean, I think with any sort of trading, and this is why I don't want to just go to $10,000 position sizes, because I could. Because it takes a while to just adjust to stuff. It's like flying to a different climate, and the first few days your body's acclimating, or whatever it's called. It's getting used to that new climate, and I feel like that's a little bit maybe of what's going on here. Like now, when I trade $1,000 size, I feel like it's way too small, and I don't really take it seriously anymore. So I'm definitely getting used to these levels. And I think maybe in a week or 2, I'll be ready to kind of increase it to making maybe 5,000 my default size. I don't know. I'm just, thinking out loud, but I really do think that's actually the case. NTN, man, absolutely wizard here. I think if NTN really holds these highs, especially if we don't see a dip below 3.5, I think NTN might be a possible opportunity for another trade. And I'll tell you why I think that. It's because here we actually held the highs pretty well, and then we had another continuation day. We opened up here, pulled higher, and then sold off the rest of the day. So maybe we're going to see something like that. And this time we have much more volume. So NTN, I do like the overall potential this one has for maybe an overnight trade. So the one of the best things you guys could do is always look at history. So this one obviously had a pretty nice pre-markets or opening session, and then it pulled higher. Once it broke above 2, it was a really strong afternoon runner, kind of pulled back here to 3.5. Honestly, 3.5 seems to be a very critical zone. So let's go ahead and mark this area. And yeah, we could see it fell off a cliff once the market opened and kind of bounce off 3.5. So I don't know, maybe 3.5 is going to be an area worth looking at. Maybe this is going to be a zone that we want to acknowledge a little bit. So that's right down here. You can also see that this was a bit of a breakout zone, pullback, consolidation area. So definitely 3.5 is kind of a pivotal area. So let's see if it has significance, and then maybe there's going to be an afternoon run onto NTN. But I don't know. I'm always very weary of halts or news coming out. Let's review FAT here. Oops, what did I just click on? FAT, similar profit on this one. What do we make on this one? FAT is actually the most 355 on FAT. Again, this one we were trading a lot pre-market. Actually, really aggressively pre-market. I made almost all my money on FAT pre-market. Quick review, 90% gapping pre-market, 1.5 million float. Every time I see a 1.5 million float, I know this thing's going to be halting in every sort of direction. I know we're going to be seeing rip skis and dip skis. I know it's just going to be hot, and it was. So USA Restaurant Company, and they had a planned acquisition of Johnny Rockets. Now, I've never ate at Johnny Rockets, so I couldn't really comment on that, but interesting stuff. Now, what I did notice about FAT, and if we just go here to the daily chart, you can kind of see that, we have big support around these kind of whole dollar zones, so 5.5 and half dollar zones, kind of $6, then again like 650, I would probably argue, and then 750. So it's kind of like these $1.50 like increments that seem to be kind of interesting. One of these first big dips on the IPO, after the IPO, was at $8, and that was a big area I had on my list here. So when FAT opened up here, I knew that I would want to be trading something around $8. Now $8.50, like I said, was kind of one of those $0.50 increments, and we opened up, pulled higher, but then we pulled back about 10%, and I joined here around $8.69. I would have wanted 50 a bit more, but I didn't get it, and we instantly started pulling back higher. I really didn't have high trust in this company because it had I checked their 10Q and they had a bunch of warrants at $5 or so. So I was really nervous about that one. And I think there was also some warrant news about it here. So this is the article actually that made me want to check for warrants. And here you can see it as well, a bunch of warrants at $5 per share. So just, you want to be careful with these because these tend to dump. And yeah, we kind of saw it here, had a red to green move, halted on the way up, halted on the way down. And then, I mean, these, it's hard to manage your risk on a company like FAT. Now, I would say I liked NTN much more, but I think FAT had some great trade opportunities at 7.5. Here, the first move at 7.5, this was a 30% run, had a nice little retest here at $8. Remember, $8 was that key zone. So nice 750, break back above 8, pull back to 850. Here's a little dip to 850. And then here is now 750 again. Nice move. And guess what? 750 was just hit again. So, trading FAT in a very risk conscious way around the 750 and $8 zone would have been a really, really sweet way to trade FAT over and over again. So this one had tons of opportunity. I think in this area, a lot of selling volume coming in now. I'm a little bit weary about FAT, and I probably wouldn't be touching it necessarily right now. I don't know. We'll see what happens. This actually could be an interesting continuation because it seems a little bit more reputable. But again, you don't really know what's happening behind the scenes, and maybe this whole acquisition is also something that they want to prop this price up so they can do a secondary offering to raise capital. So who knows? I don't really want to be involved in it. I'm a little bit more interested in NTN, but again, we'll see. IGC is probably a ticker I won't be touching. You guys know how I feel about second green days. I almost avoid them like the plague. You get stuck in much more offerings, and it's not my favorite thing to do. But IGC out of the gates, when we broke $3 and found some big support here, I kind of wish I traded this one. This was a 60% move, absolutely crazy. And then we had a really nice bounce here at 3.4 that we called out, and I missed this one. So that would have been the two trades I coulda, shoulda, woulda traded. All of this is just a little bit too crazy for me. But yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it's so easy to talk about trades, but I did, like, at the time kind of think about this would actually, if I wanted to trade IGC, those would have been the possible entries. So right now, I really do think NTN might be the most promising here. I like the fact that it's kind of setting up for a gun pattern, the handle, the barrel, the finger trigger, and then the trigger finger hole, and then the possible barrel here. So we have to really hold this $4 zone. But overall, just, scalping NTN is it was so much fun today. And I hope tomorrow gives us equal opportunities, because I would like to do a little bit more trading once the market opened. I'm a little bit, I'm almost confused why I didn't. And I really, like I said in the beginning, I think it was just me, it could have just me been trying to lock in profits and being like, you know what, I'm not always at $600 profit, so let's not do anything silly. Let's see what we can learn today, and let's just leave it as it is. And I think maybe that was my mindset. I don't know, but it's tough too. And it's something I really want to, before I wrap up, I just want to say, like, be very careful of not taking a trade that you want. So like FAT, when it hit 750. it's very easy to be like, I don't know, it's looking a little sketchy here, even though this is actually the trade that might have the best risk reward. Take that trade, because if you don't and it has a huge rocket, you're going to FOMO into it and buy at a worse time. So that's like my little advice. And because oftentimes if I don't take the obvious move, I FOMO into a future bad move. And that's also why I'm a little upset that I didn't do more trading today, because I was like, because maybe that could have put me in a bad position in terms of taking less than ideal trades in the future. So something really to kind of maybe consider there as well. There's just so much to consider when you're trading. Like there's so much to think about, and think about like your own personality. So it's really interesting stuff. All right, guys, let's wrap it up there. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning for the last day of the week. Woo, super excited. And yeah, guys, subscribe if you're new. I'd love to see you again. Love to see you in the community and grow with the channel. Till next time, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.